Zoom, zoom, like a race car flight, but it ain't a car. It's a super fast tortoise going the speed of light, breaking all the
Even in space, a group of tortoises is called a creep. Welcome to Super Fast Tortoise.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get up, it's senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise Morning Coffee Show.
Whoa, hello. What a beautiful day. Beer going all the way.
We got a hand model in the house.
That's right.
If it doesn't happen at least 3 times a week, I feel like Tor isn't actually trying.
Well, how much are you getting paid for being a hand model nowadays, Tortoise?
I know, right? Them beautiful spirit fingers.
Not enough. I don't see any income. That's like I volunteer my hand model. That's right.
Yeah, he just don't want to tell us how much he's getting made because then he's gonna have to pay us for being here.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Coffee Show. So excited that you guys are here. We got a hot topic today we're going to talk about. We got the brains in the house. We got everybody here. Lono have had to
This
step away
topic
from
is
today.
Spicy, muy caliente.
Yeah.
I see the meatball.
Oh yeah, and we got so many diverse opinions and thoughts and processes. Like I'm more of the fence guy on this one, but I had to do it because it's a question that people ask, and I don't think enough people cover. And you know, maybe this is a debate, maybe this is not, but maybe if it is a debate, we'll come to a conclusion we all can be satisfied with. But with that, I want to introduce everybody to my right with the mohawk. Right with the mohawk. Time to rock!
We got the one Ray Man.
Rock
I am here. We are live and in living color.
That's right. In living color. He's Fire Marshal Bill. This case. But anyways, then
More like Homie the Clown.
Homie the Clown. Homie don't play that.
Homie play that.
Next to Rayman, we have MTG Hillbilly.
Dag blaggit.
And for those who don't know, Hillbilly has been obsessively grooming his beard or his goatee just for that segment.
Oh yeah.
Right, Grandpa old man. Time to move to Balt.
Freshly born.
Tybalt's apprentice wins. Flawless victory.
If only. I wouldn't know what to do with a flawless victory.
Right. But, you know, you shaved once again. You decided to radically change your appearance.
I got it back to what I look like on my card. You know, people are getting confused with who I was.
You look like a
I didn't even recognize him. I had to take a double take. What?
Yeah, Debal. You look like a guy who has a regular 9 to 5.
The better to blend in with.
That's right.
They'll never see it coming now.
He's a sleeper agent. Everybody's a sleeper agent. The next to Debalt, we have
The Rhino Blitz.
So, party people.
Party people. Woo, woo, woo. The stream is full of sexy bees. That's right. Yeah.
I'm the only one not there.
All right. But hey, that's awesome. And a shout out to Kane Shaker. Cane Shaker. What's up, morning coffee people?
What's
And Aaron
up?
Source Rex.
So,
Well, yeah, Aaron Source Rex. Right. Then James Willis, Cane Shaker.
I shake my cane at the clouds with my fury.
That's right. Some great people here in chat. Hope we grow, get more people. You guys rock, you guys roll. Yeah, and trust me, I'm tired. Wife came home late last night. Well, not late. For me, late, but she usually gets off at 2 a.m. But she came home around 11 and finished working from home off the computer. But she's down with the sickness. We're hoping she passed. And I ended up staying up to like 2 a.m. So my brain is technically fried from late night shenanigans.
You guys catch the con crud?
It could be concrete, or we're hoping that it's not the strep. So
I would take con crud over strep.
Yeah. Right. So oh, trust me, we rather have something else too, because like the first time we went to a con, she got the C19.
Yeah. That's tough.
Yeah, that was tough. But anyways, with that, my friends, let's kind of roll through the show, starting off with the first segment of the day. The first segment of the day, being
Card of the day.
Shared Summons. Dun, 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 dun. This is like, some people read this and look at the mana cost and they're like, that mana value is a little underwhelming, but this card is pretty good. Ooh. So for 5 mana, you get an instant.
That's the key right there. It's instant speed.
Instant,
Yep.
That's it.
You search
And it's in green.
You search your library for up to 2 creature cards with different names. So mainly for commander. Reveal them, put them in your hand, and shuffle your library. This card is nuts.
Yeah.
Pull 2 freeze creatures. Yeah, that's nuts.
Oh, yeah.
And the mana cost is a little off-putting, but the instant speed, that's where that's great.
Yeah.
I like this just because it tutors for not one creature, but 2.
But two.
Yeah.
And some of those creatures nowadays, they combo off.
Yes, sir.
Cane Shaker says those cons are always full of cooties. Yeah. Shared Summons is one of my favorite cards from M20. I have a copy in a deck somewhere, and only one copy of it, but it's fire when you can play it on your opponent's turn and just have a fresh hand to play some creatures you just totally tutored up.
Yep.
I have never seen this card.
Yeah.
Don't worry, super fast to show it to you in one of the games.
Yeah.
And I bet he's getting dinosaurs with it.
On the butt end of it. You'll be on the butt end.
It's one of the buttons. All right, with that, we're going to roll on to the picture of the day. This one is personally targeted to the richest man in the house. I'm lying. To showcase his favorite MTG deck.
So what I'm gonna explain the picture right there, because what Tortoise has represented is my $1 million mindset, because I'm always about a 1 week away from being broke and upside down on bills. So it's a $1 million mindset that I have for my decks. That's it.
What are you talking about? This is an actual picture. It's not AI generated.
Can't be near. I don't have that beard.
This is a picture taken by Forbes magazine a long time ago.
I've seen this picture before there.
Oh man.
I want that box.
Well, believe it or not, that is like the best image I can get off the AI generation. It basically almost says Magic the Gathering on the box, and it's like a gold diamond crusted box. I'm like, that is sick. So I ended up using this. Well, I ended up getting a pro image availability out of my weekly usage. So I used it on this particular picture.
I feel honored.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Tabal sits around and talks about his many $1 million decks. But wait, there's more. We got
That's
another
the vault
picture
here.
today. So, someone shared this. Was it Mad
Yeah,
Saxon?
That's more like my speed right there. That's for me.
I like that. Because reading the card is hard.
This turn isn't going to misplay itself. That's right.
I saw this same ad yesterday, and the next shirt was somebody sitting at a computer, looking at the viewer, like they're like spiking the camera, and they say, "You want to know the secret? I'd never read the card."
I'm always a week ahead of those issues to ball.
Yep.
That's funny. All right, that's the second picture of the day. But with that, we're gonna get to the next segment.
Presented by Discord, we have the question of the day.
Ooh, we got the question of the day brought to you by yours truly. But if you want to share a question of the day on Discord, you can make little videos. Vertical if you want, horizontal if you want. We'll use whatever you sent. Pictures of the day. The question of the day is
Super Fast Tortoise here with the question of the day. The question of the day, my friends, is what is the one key rule you have for when building Commander decks? Let's go.
It has to be complicated.
Complicated. Right.
I get bored.
everything gotta be so complicated.
Like if you don't look at my deck and go, huh? And not know how to pilot it, that's the way I like it.
That's funny. So my key rule is it has to be straightforward, and you got to be able to see the synergy through the breakdown of the deck.
Well, that's a given. I was making a joke.
Well, some people love complicated decks.
Mine's not a joke. People like you guys have seen the box. Those of you who've watched our stream games, I have this box I keep all my decks in, and at least once, if not twice a weekend, somebody will come up and be like, "Oh, hey Ray, can I play one of your decks?" And if they've never played one of my decks before, when I hand it to them, I look at them and I go, "Now listen, if you look at two cards in this deck and think I need to ask Ray if these two cards work the way I think they do, let me just tell you now, they do." Like, that's the point.
Nice.
Well, my answer for this is deck just has to be fun. I mean, I had to like the commander, what the commander does, how the commander functions, and I just had to like the deck.
Yeah. And fun's important.
Yeah, fun is the main thing, the main goal. Like, I mean, like, we have to make the deck fun. We got to make the sportsmanship fun and the gameplay fun. Like, got to start there. And then
Fun's the reason I took Toph apart, because it was incredibly good. Like, the deck was very powerful, but it was unfun to pilot. Right?
Yeah.
Every game kind of ended up being the same thing, and it wasn't supposed to be a combo deck, so my brain wasn't like in combo mode. So that deck came apart, and I built Omnath. Like, I took pieces of it, ended up building Omnath out of it. The deck was unfun to play.
My first commander deck I ever built was just unfun to play against, because it was life drain, life gain, angels, demons, dragons, and it was my first deck I ever built, and it was banned, like unbanned.
Nice.
I mean,
it wasn't fun to play against.
People didn't like playing against it, but it was unfun for me to pilot.
Oh, I know. This one was unfun to pilot because it was just so much, like, you just had to do so much. Like, you had to play like all the things just right to get everything to do just what because Doran Siege Tower was my commander, and I was running Angels, Demons, Dragons, and I was running like Dragon Lord, Dramoka the Eternal, and then I was running Angels of Serenity and Angel, all those, and then I was running the demons and stuff, and then like I had all the different triggers for the different life gain and the life drain, and then I was running Sanguine's Bond, Exquisite Blood, and then I was and then I had tons of removal, and it was just like it seemed like I had an answer for everything, and the people just
All right. Hold on. Really quick. The ball. What about your answer?
I agree with the answer. The question or the statement you have up here on screen is like, my deck has to have spikes in it.
Mm-hmm.
It has to have cards in there that people are like, what the heck is that for? Or it has to be like that one outside case where the person that I'm looking at across the table is like, I'm just about to win. Unless they have one card, and I want to produce that one card that stops them from winning.
Right. Blake says, I don't leave my opponents questioning why would he ever run that blank blank. He says the following is up with a win involving it. I feel like I haven't done my job as a deck builder. Ooh.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Show off those old cards.
Kenny Checker says, I like when I use old cards from Portal set, and the person I'm playing said, well, what the hell is horsemanship?
Ryan Nowicki is pretty spot on right there.
Budget matters in a board sense. Some commanders or themes don't scale the same as most to cost. The budget and what to turn goes lethal are good questions to ask in most turn zero conversations. And Kryptonite, hello.
Still Kryptonite.
Kryptonite. Man, we lost him, didn't we, Kryptonite?
I actually have the perfect analogy for what Nowicki was just talking about.
No, I was just saying that we did lose the other day the lead singer to 3 Doors Down. That's what popped tonight because of Kryptonite.
All right. With that, let's actually get to the thing we haven't used all week.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Welcome to Superfast Tortoise. This is a free show on YouTube. It is completely volunteer-based. This program is made possible by viewers like you, and share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. And also by contributions made to your Superfast Tortoise channel and from viewers like you. You all rock. You are awesome.
You're crazy!
You are watching Superfast Tortoise.
Tortoise, it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. I've not used it all week. It's Tuesday.
It's going down on a Tuesday. I like this.
I got a cat that's begging for my attention. It's ridiculous. But anyways, my friend, so does budget matter in MTG Commander? Right? So I got this whole thing. I'm going to try to read through it. So I took out the bracket thing I had in the deck because it was mentioned that it just fits a certain demographic. We're trying to break that. But I was doing research yesterday to write. So everything I wrote was based off research, based off Google and everything Google will find for me and certain articles. All right. So what is the average cost of a commander deck in Magic the Gathering? That seems like a rough estimate and a tough question to ask. But as the cost of individual cards vary due to reprints, power creep, and popularity. For example, the cost of Armageddon, a white card that destroys all lands on cardkingdom.com, goes for like $12 for the cheapest version. A card most people agree, not banned, to not play in Commander. Its popularity is down, so the cost is down. Then we have a card like Shared Roots, a popular common in Standard that fetches for land, and in Commander costs $2.50, right? Which is high for its rarity. That's spiked since it's printed. No. But in the unspoken rule of Commander, card popularity, playability, rarity, and dare I say, a staple card in Commander, cards hold and accrue value over time. These trends often change, and as the format becomes faster and more competitive, we see unexpected spikes in cost of singles. So, what is the cost of a Commander deck? Well, let's look into this a little deeper. Let's say you are a new player. You have your first experience at an LGS, local game store, for the first time, and you want to get into Magic the Gathering. The owner and you talk and have a conversation with Magic and about Magic, and explains that precons are a good way to step into the world of Magic the Gathering. Since Commander is like the main way to play nowadays, he explains that precons are the most fair way to start, and if you play against other precons, it usually, but not always, is a balanced game. And they cost between $60 and $70 to buy into the game. As a player, you start playing with friends and with precons, and your friends over time start upgrading their decks. Now, as they find new cards to the decks that synergize with their deck and themes, they upgrade their decks. Let's say the starting deck costs an individual, the initial pre-con cost with some upgrades is $100. Now, at this time, you are learning the bracket system, what the brackets mean, and the group you play with. Also, this curve. Now, you start learning about edhrec.com, Recommander, and darkritual.site, and you gather, and the Gatherer from Wizards of the Coast is our good places to look and search for cards, right? And you start learning about finding cards, upgrading your decks, and start investigating cards at individual prices. You learn about a website like cardkingdom.com or starcity.com or tcgplayer.com for you, and you go to your LGS and look for cards, and if your LGS doesn't have them, you'll buy them online, right? Because your LGS doesn't always guarantee to have the card you want, but you start setting an allowance or spending limit for MTG cards to upgrade your deck. A couple months go by and you tally up your receipts and you learn that you spent $300 on your deck upgrading it. So this is based on range average deck, costs $400, including the price of the pre-con in there. When you play against a friend who went extreme, like your friend is extreme and spends like $900 getting like more powerful cards, or upgrading just the look of the card with a fancier version, spending $500 more than you on your deck. Then they went all out buying some fancy powerhouse cards, some cards that were special art, that you did not know existed. The math still includes the original pre-con price you all bought. Now you have a family. Your bills come first. Education, work, bills, and more are first in your life. It's the things you are responsible for. You think I can't spend that kind of money? Sometimes you can't. Your friend, a single dude, still lives with his parents, pays a little bills, spends cash like no tomorrow, makes you a little jealous, but you are happy with your family. You do not get to play much or many Commander games. Your friends, besides working, spends a lot of the time playing Commander at the shop with all your guys' friends.
Sup, Oscar?
Yeah, Oscar, what's up?
Hey,
Yeah.
TG dude.
Then you meet
Hola,
Timmy.
glad to be here.
Yeah, hold on. Then you meet Timmy, a new guy in the game. Timmy is a man who lives with disabilities and has a fixed income. He's able to afford pre-con, and then though you taught him about the ways of searching and buying cards and assuming he is responsible, can't afford all the upgrades he would like to get. You help him with some cards. He buys some cards he ends up wanting and ends up building a deck around $250 a deck. Now, so by now, if you have not caught on the cost of Commander decks, the cost of Commander decks are between $100, $400, and Extreme goes up to $900 on average. And these are average deck costs and prices, as the research knows. For a pre-con upgraded deck, you guys playing like this for years, and say years go by, and you learn about optimizing your decks and from budget cards to good cards, pricey staples, your games get interesting. You all learn deck building like champions. You followed Super Fast Tortoise's deck building guide, Game 3, self-promotion, and have gotten really good at building decks at a different budget. Now, but something finds itself prevalent. 3 facts that come up in a conversation more and more. The guy with the $900 deck becomes the arch enemy number 1 most of the time, like 60% of the games you play. The budget player finds himself relying on his deck to perform at high synergy and efficiency, which is about 40% of the time. And then you find yourself focused on the big budget player most of the games, and sometimes scrub it out to both the lower budget player and the more expensive player. No one is saying your games are not fun, but what is happening is a trend or a repeated pattern has surfaced. It gets you thinking and asking these questions. Is it me that's not a great player? Is the budget diversity affecting our games? So you start reaching and you find some conversations that intrigue you, like price does not determine the power level of your deck. An expensive deck that poorly built can be destroyed by a budget deck with synergy and deck synergy and efficient plays. But you also learn an expensive deck that's well designed can dominate with the power of some commander staples. Cards and combos that hold synergies and value and go for the synergy over value. A deck with high synergy cards working together will and should outperform a deck full of pricey cards just for value. Now, so you already know this form of learning deck building. Just everyone in your pod are good deck builders. So you're going to imagine Everybody in your pod's good deck builders. You're on the same page, on this equal levels. Optimizing your deck deals with upgrading lands, focusing synergy, and upgrading with power creep is a thing, but you notice the price of cards fluctuate. Some of your cards go up in price, some of your cards go down in price. New cards come out, upgrade your deck with some of those swinging in higher prices because they become immediate staples. You're finding it not just a bit frustrating, but also you find it a bit tiring having to keep up with the ever-changing nature of MTG. You find yourself in a pickle. Then you have a player like me. I can't afford to buy cards every time a set comes out. I get to buy Magic cards roughly every 4 months. I usually buy singles within $100 budget or less, so keeping up with cards becomes a job. Sometimes I'm priced out of a card because the bulk I want out of the cards is more important than the big budget card I want for the deck. Some synergy's sake, but at the time it feels like I go against a deck where budget is no option. They're already won the game because they can get power creep where I cannot. So the question is, does budget affect your MTG games? The question is simple, but do you think in a group where everyone's equal on skill level and deck building, does budget matter? Woo!
TLDR, Magic is an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
In other breaking news, the sun is out. Like,
Oh yeah,
And it wasn't before the start of the rant. No.
But really quick, I want to introduce
TCG, dude.
Give me a sleeve.
That's right. So
Better late than never, huh?
yeah, like I heard you come in and you started talking. I'm like, I'm in the middle of reading. I can't introduce you. But hey, but anyways, so that's my big thing. So I try to keep the if you notice, I try to keep everything in the description of the notes like fair on a balanced note. I tried defending everybody's part. Tried to let everybody realize there's like a pod involved because usually that's what happens. So, but because to include spell tables games can be ridiculous because you go against a lot of variety, So let's get into this, and it looks like someone here has something to say that's bugging them. Why don't you say it?
Who, me?
I expected the person I was talking about just to start going.
Oh, budget. Budget matters in the sense, if it matters to you, I think, in the sense that, like Ray mentioned this earlier, like he has a friend that has a $60 deck, $80 deck or something, I think it was, that just steamrolls. Like if you have a deck building mind, much like myself, much like Tortoise, much like Ray, much like Tabal, and I'm sure Hillbilly's getting there. Budget isn't a thing. Like you can build the craziest thing with a little bit amount of money just because you research the cards and do your homework.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Synergy matters. Synergy matters over value.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think synergy trumps everything. A lot of people. I actually talked to Tortoise about this before too. In this case, my whole Tybalt's Apprentice and stuff came about because of, because of my feelings of, I'm going to say, inadequacy when it came to spending on Magic. And I played with a couple of folks that had deep pockets, nothing against them or whatever, but it felt like they could buy the wins. They could just buy that. And so it took a very long time for me to get past the idea of budget and that being a concern. I still have one little caveat that I'm stuck with, but it took a while to get past that. And the biggest thing that I got out of all of this is when I stopped worrying about that and worried more about synergy, I started winning. I started winning more. And the place that I went to, not a paid sponsor, as a matter of fact, the channel is now defunct because of whatever reasons, but their information is still out there. If you go to budget MTG, budget MTG decks, I should look it up. I should have been more prepared. Anyhow, if you go to them on YouTube, they have tremendous decks where no card is more than $1. Now they've been out of circulation for a little bit, so I went and I did look this up at least. I often talk about my Ghoul Caller Gisa deck and the fact that that was a $25 deck when I built it, and it's just awesome. I've upgraded it since then, but more for synergy to make things work better. I looked it up. It's still only $35.
Yeah.
If you were to take their list that they have, and it is absolutely awesome. Whether it, I'm not going to say, and when I plugged it in, it was between a 2 and a 3 deck, bracket 2 and bracket 3. And I'm going to say that didn't even matter because you would have more fun playing the deck. If you take the idea of what the other person is spending on cards out of the equation, it gives you more, they're renting space in your head for free if they're spending money and you're worried about that. If you can let that go, and it takes a while, I know it still does for me.
It takes a while to let that go. Right.
If you could get that out of your head and just concentrate on what you're doing, you're going to find that you're going to have a lot more fun and things are going to go better for you. And I've probably taken the mic long enough. So anybody else have any ideas?
Another thing would be like, for like you just mentioned, like about what you mentioned, like when you're playing a game and you're playing budget, like you say you're playing against someone and whatchamacallit, Bleg mentioned if like all things are equal, including skill level, statistically the higher budget will average more wins. However, you'll take someone like, the term taking them back when you play cards they're not used to seeing and they're not prepared for it, and they wasted their removal or wasted their whatever, and you pull the win with your budget deck because they weren't expecting it.
Yep. And this information, it can be used for, standard also.
For sure.
For sure.
Absolutely. The cost of standard decks is crazy right now.
Why do you think I got
when I was grinding standard in the early 2000s, we thought that $200 was absurd for a deck, right? And that was about what Ravager cost. That was the last kind of standard format I was really in, was when I run Ravager was kind of the boogeyman of the format. And we're like, $200 for a standard deck that's going to rotate in 3 months? This is insane. And now it's, what, 2.5 times that? And it basically rotates, every 45 days or something.
Or it's closer to about $1,000 for standard right now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
But
my last standard deck cost $800. So yeah, it's and then it rotated out.
It's all about the commander you pick, right? Yep. And me and Tortoise, I don't know if I said this to Tortoise or to probably Tortoise, or might have been to Ball. We were talking about this too. When you pick your commander, you have to know what the budget of that deck is going to be, and if there are budget alternatives, right? Like some decks just absolutely have to have those expensive staples to run at its best. Now, can it run? Absolutely. But the donut tire on your car can drive you to Walmart to buy a new tire. You're not going to be taking a road trip with it, right? It's like, yeah, the donut will get you to where you need to go, but it's going to be slower. Your handling is going to be bad, and it's going to be an all-around unfun time for everybody involved, right? Mm-hmm. And that's so I think picking the commander that you want to build and doing the research on, hey, can I build this deck within my budget is incredibly important.
Yep.
And
that is important. You are absolutely.
The cost of a deck doesn't mean that you're going to just win. We have so many budget decks locally. Brandon has 2 budget decks. Connor, who's played, if people want to see what a really good like $60 deck can do that runs no expensive lands or anything in it, watch one of our games on Mr. B's Game Lounge. This isn't just a shameless plug. Connor, his Warriors deck, he built that entire deck for $61, and that's counting the shipping from Star City to get it here.
Wow.
Like weenies.
No, it's Mardu. It's Mardu Warriors. It runs Zergo as the commander, so whenever he mobilizes, he doesn't have to sack the tokens at the end of combat or at the end of the turn. Nice. So he's just constantly accruing tokens. Then he's buffing them. He's getting like multiple triggers off of some inexpensive staples. Like that deck is very, very powerful. As people who have watched the stream and watched a couple games with with Connor in it, he's always in a very good position. If Connor, a year from now, when Connor has another year under his belt, because Connor's only been playing Magic 5 months, 6 months at most, when he gets more experience under his belt and just becomes a better player over time, that deck is going to be even harder to deal with because he's going to play it better. And we see that around here pretty often, people making budget decks that are very powerful. It's all about knowing what your commander can do, and if you can get this, the synergy cards or a close enough facsimile of that card for a cheaper price. And if you can, then you can build amazing decks that can go toe-to-toe with decks that cost 5, 10, 20 times as much money and win games.
Well, I want to bring up something here.
Absolutely.
Right here. Boom. Look at that. What is this? This is 2 different prices on 2 different decks I personally own. Well, I was going to ask you if you can guess which decks they are, but no, you wouldn't really guess.
Dinosaur.
I would say that one of them is probably the more expensive one is the dinosaur deck. That's my guess.
My guess.
All right, so the top one's actually my Dragons deck.
Dragons, okay.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right. It's $683.64 with a salt summary of 45.21.
No, what website does the estimate of your deck?
Moxfield and Architect do both.
Architect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is Architect.
Mine, I don't even want to know the tag price on mine. Mine is up there. They've gotten up there, boys. You would tell me, Rob. You would tell me to just slow down.
The bottom deck. This deck is $586.96, 37.54 salt score, but they're both bracket 3s, But in 1v1 game, the cheaper deck would win more times than the top deck. Why? Archetype in this case. The bottom deck is my Rafika the Mini deck.
Yeah,
I can remove a player by turn 4, turn 5. Not game ending, but remove a player. But then the top deck's my Dragons deck, and that focuses more on a table format of 4 people. In a table format versus 4 people, the Dragon deck's easier to play than the Rafika the Mini deck. So that is a very different approach to looking at how powerful a card can be or how a deck can be at a budget. Because player removal is really strong. When I play Rafika the Mini, I don't do player removal right away, but I do put a lot of damage out there. But if I was being more competitive, Rafika the Mini is where I'd go. And that's a cheaper deck. Yeah.
So I think something else to keep in mind here too is if you're fighting battles on too many fronts, you kind of, I think, need to decide. It would be easy to get overwhelmed if you're worried about the price of other people's cards, if you're worrying about having the best of staples and so on. I think it's important also that you play cards that you're comfortable with. You could spend a lot of time chasing cards that when you get them and you actually play them, they're either maybe too complicated for you to use or you don't find yourself using them often enough to make it worthwhile. And the other big thing that I've arguably finally come around to is proxy the cards that if you feel like you're just competing on price, proxy. I have never played a game or seldom played a game where somebody wouldn't play because the other person had proxies. It's just not that just doesn't happen much these days, or I haven't encountered those people. And so you can always proxy the cards if it comes to that. If you feel like you need that card that bad, proxy it. You got a pen and paper if you don't have a printer, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
you can always do that.
And there's something else too. I think new players specifically fall into the trap of seeing, oh, hey, there's this really good card that's in my color combination. It's not cheap, right? It's an expensive-ish card. That card would have to be good in my deck. And let me just tell you, they are not always.
Not always. No.
Sometimes a card can be really powerful in a color, and I mean exceptionally powerful, and it be really bad in your deck. We have a player locally who put a Hullbreaker Horror in their Zamone deck. And Hullbreaker Horror needs you to be casting spells. And Zamone don't want to cast spells. Zamone wants to put things face down and flip them over.
Right.
She don't want to cast spells. So you're sitting there for 4 turns and Hullbreaker Horror doesn't have a single trigger because you've not cast anything, right?
Right.
And so I think that cost is as much a trap as anything, because a card can be very expensive and just not mesh well with your deck. Like Ristic Study, the prime example, Ristic Study, right? The boogeyman of the format that a lot of people want banned.
Right.
I have it in one deck, and I have a lot of blue in my box. I have it in one deck because I think it works well in that deck. The other, I don't run it. And not only do I not run it in that deck, if I could add, if tomorrow they come out and say, hey, in your bracket 3 deck, you could add 2 more game changers. I'd have Ristic Study and still in one deck.
Right.
Because it doesn't have anything to do with it being a game changer or me not having a space for it. It has. I have other things I'd rather do with this slot in lower power games. Right now, if I'm playing bracket 4, I'm putting Ristic Study probably in everything.
So let me ask a question. This is a question I already know the answer to, but I think you guys will just affirm it. You think people kind of suffer because they don't run enough interaction in the deck?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't. But we talked about this last week, right? I think you need some interaction, but I also think that you can run too much interaction.
Well, yeah,
but I mean, like, and by too much, I don't necessarily mean a whole bunch. I mean, so just not this Friday, but 2 Fridays ago, our best local player was playing his commander deck. He plays Ardbert from Final Fantasy. For those who don't know, it's a Orzhov deck. It talks about legends. It basically says whenever you cast a white or a black spell, your creatures get +1/+1 counters, and they get like menace and vigilance, right?
Right.
And he lost that game and sitting on a Clever Concealment, Dawn's what's the Bloomborough?
Dawn's Truce.
Heroic Intervention. Yep, Dawn's Truce. And Flawless Maneuver, right? He had these 3 protection spells in his hand. They didn't matter. He lost. He died.
Right. But
if those had been anything else, if he would have drew a single white or black creature spell instead of one of those 3, he wins that game. Right.
Right. Well, I understand that point of view, and that's just a bad hand from the sounds of it. But interaction's also removal. You know, if you had removal, maybe you got a creature. You know,
you don't need removal if you can politic other people's removal.
Also true. I can't do their argument justice. So if people want the full reasoning and statistics and math behind why you should run less removal in your commander decks, go watch the Distraction Maker videos on it. They break it down. They spend 40 minutes talking about how you should run less removal in your commander deck.
I was watching a video.
Not none. But less.
I was watching a video last night, and someone tried telling me to run less board wipes.
I wish it was me.
Take him off the stream. What are they talking about? Yeah.
Like I put in the comments. I can't remember the name of the channel, but I was watching them. They were talking about mistakes people make in the deck. And they're like, some people run too many board wipes. That's like 4-hour games. In the comments, I'm like, how dare you tell me how many board wipes to run?
Well, and here's the thing: I don't even care about how long it makes the game. That means less to me with board wipes. To me, I think board wipes. I think people can run too many of them because unless a lot of your creatures have indestructible or evasion, you are setting yourself back as well. Right? So you are hurting yourself as well as your opponents. Now, there are exceptions to this, like my Walls deck runs a ton of board wipes, but they don't hit me.
Right.
They don't hit you, no.
I think I run 6, and not a single one of them is going to blow up they may blow up an auxiliary creature I have, but they're not hitting my walls, and they're not hitting my commander.
Right. Like in my 5-color Joda dinosaur deck, Jurassic Park, that deck, most of my board wipes are singular sided, where it destroys my opponent's creatures, not mine. And that's
perfect.
You know, I got a couple regular board wipes in there, and and a singularity rupture because reanimations is kind of a thing in that deck. But I love playing the one-sided board wipes. Now I've been strategically planning around different board wipes and playing less board wipes for certain decks because I do believe theme and synergy overpower board wipes. Board wipes are not a crutch for me, some people would think, but I try to use them in decks in ways that make the deck stronger because I don't want to be there struggling and everybody else is gaining. So sometimes I need to reset the board so I get a chance, and that's what that's there for.
I share that sentiment. Like, I'll give you an example. I played a game early this morning where I did a reset, and the dude was like, "Man, you just made the game go even longer." I was like, "Well, what do you think I'm doing? I got this next turn. I did my board wipe for a reason."
Yeah. So now we're getting into that space that I was talking about earlier, where it comes down to playing with what you're comfortable with. So if you use that to your advantage, if you make that your advantage to have that, because like I said, there are ways these days to come back from board wipes even stronger than before. A lot of times, even if you're on the receiving end of it, there's a number of white cards that will reset the board, or everything you got lost this turn gets put back on the field or whatever, if you're built that way. So a lot of this comes down to also, like I said, what cards you're comfortable with. I definitely think that people should play more interaction, but these are the pods that I was playing in where I would watch people get frustrated and leave salty because they didn't get to do what they wanted. And it's like, well, you didn't put anything in the game that allowed you to interact with anybody else so that you could stay in the game. You know what I mean? You were so focused on your deck doing your thing that you can't be mad when somebody else stops it because everybody here is trying to win. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah. I think that one of the things that wasn't mentioned during this discussion was not every deck has a good matchup to other decks, right?
No.
So
Absolutely.
sometimes right? So sometimes you're just going to get smashed. And like the other day, I went and did a store championship, and I run a red-white equipment deck with Cloud, very Final Fantasy themed, more meme than anything. But it's a lot of fun to play, and it has a lot of one-to-one removal, so it kind of matches up against Ouroboros, but it has nothing on the new Elementals Graveyard deck with Superior Spider-Man and all that, right? Like minimal graveyard interaction. I happened to slot in Torpor Orb on the sideboard, which is a really cool artifact, 2 mana. It kills creature ETBs, which, if you're familiar with the new Lorwyn, ETBs are really strong, but that still gives them a 6/5, 6/6 or whatever, and that's a house in standard. So that's something to consider when deck building and budgeting and all that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's a reason why, like, when I sit down at a table, I want to see what everybody else is playing, because I don't want to pick something that just shuts off somebody else's stuff, right? Like, if somebody's playing a deck that has a bunch of ETB triggers or like landfall triggers, I won't play Elish Nor. That would give me a crazy good matchup. But like, that just says, oh, hey, why did you sit down? Because your deck doesn't work anymore. That's lame, right? So I always try to avoid counter picking when I play a deck. I don't want to pick something that just shuts somebody else's stuff off. That's lame. But CC Judo is 100% correct. Like, there are some commander decks that you just come across and say, it doesn't matter how much money you spent or how good it is. You just look at it and go, oh, I lose to this. Like, I better politic my way to get that person the hell out of this game as quickly as humanly possible, if I want even a tenth of a chance to win this game.
Like my dinosaur deck's pretty good in playing, but some decks will shut it down. Like, there's a deck I was playing against in a bracket 3 competitive level, not CDH, but bracket 3, and some guy just played this moon orb thing that just made all my lands into the battlefield tapped and not untapped.
Wait, what is it?
So there's an artifact that says the land non-basic lands don't untap at the beginning of their opponent's upkeep.
They don't untap at all?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Wow.
that's not a bracket 3 card.
That's not a bracket 3 card. That's a bracket.
You should have been like, hey, buddy, you should check out what mass land denial is.
Yeah, you should check out what
in
mass.
the bracket 3 description.
Well, I think this was like really before brackets.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, like this is the first time I played Commander at my shop and at an F&M.
Oh, okay. Hey, so this was a while ago then. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I was like, Tor, you didn't tell me about this. I
You did not tell me about this at all. At all. And then I was gonna say, like, TCG did, and also what you mentioned, Ray. Like, for instance, I went up against I had my assassins deck that got like a lot of low cost assassins. I unfortunately went up against the Blight deck.
Ouch.
I couldn't keep nothing on board, dog. I couldn't keep nothing on board.
Yep.
I was instantly shut down. I had mana. I had Ristic Study. That was my only permanent.
So basically, like, budget can matter in a deck, like a little, but really it's all about hitting those synergies and themes,
100%.
those consistencies, to shield myself again, if you go to my Discord and read the game theory packets that we have there, right?
10. I'm sorry, but 10 minutes.
Right, you go in there and check it out. Like, check out the game theory. It'll teach you about theme, synergy, and other things to progress your deck to be stronger.
I just got the alert, the Wizards alert. They're about to do the debut.
Yep. Most Magic cards with the word orb in it in the title make people cringe. Right.
They make me cringe. Like not Zorner, but what's the one that makes it when you untap your permanents, you mill for each permanent you're untapped? I hate that card.
That sounds like
Mesmeric Orb.
Mesmeric Orb.
Sounds like a card Hillbilly needs.
I hate it with a passion.
Well, all right, my friends. Woo! Can you believe it's already that time?
No, too soon.
It's time to hit that button right there. Right there. There's a button right there.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise. Building the following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon. No one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house. We own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
All right, everybody. It is time to get to that shield section, thrill section. It's that time that we get there. We go from here. We go over there. Right? We go from here to over there. And we're going to start with the Rhino Blitz to Shield's content.
What's up, party people? It's the Rhino Blitz. I'm at YouTube at the Real Rhino Blitz. I'm also on Twitch. I'm also on Twitter at the Real Rhino Blitz. I run a pop culture variety channel. We cover magic content, video games, anime, comics. We do live interviews, live performances. We just started, but we got people on books. So tune in. We already got almost 80 subscribers. And come give us a like and a follow and join the crash and run with us. Thanks for tuning in.
Mm-hmm. With that, we're going to roll over to TCG Dude.
Oh, but if you have to, I'm just kidding. I got my little infographic here, if that'll help. Good morning, y'all, or good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching. I am Alex, the TCG Dude, out here keeping magic alive. I collaborate more than I host, to be honest with you, but occasionally you will catch me on the interwebs at TCG Dude, especially over on X and Discord. The seldom game stream on the Twitch side of things at TCG Dude 907. And man, if you're just kind of an old fuddy-duddy or don't do social media, you can always hit me up, contact.tcgdude@gmail.com. The thing that I'm really focused on recently, less so standard, has been a thing, and always on draft, but actually I'm in the Canadian Highlander these days. So I'm looking for the metas on that, advice for deck building. If you want to talk Canadian Highlander with me, please hit me up. Otherwise, there is to be a box battle for Avatar: The Last Airbender over here on Tortoise's channel and my channel. We're going to collaborate on that. So make sure to tune into his Discord for more information on that as it comes up. Otherwise, thanks for having me today, bro.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And good to see y'all. We had a nice full house today.
Yeah. And with that, we're going to roll over to Michael, Matt Saxon, to ball, whatever he wants to be named today.
Well, I'm going to shill somebody else this time, and that is Budget MTG decks. If you have any budgetary concerns and want good decks, I got a chance to interview David a while back. Unfortunately, the channel is not there, but all their great information is still there. There's a variety of unique decks. So if you go to Budget MTG decks, their slogan was no cards over $1. The decks they put together are just awesome. And you can just look at their list. They do like a 45-minute breakdown of the deck and how it works. Awesome stuff. So don't let budget live rent-free in your head. That's all I can say. Don't let money be an issue. Enjoy the game, and go see my stuff on YouTube if you want. Go to darkritual.site. You can find all of my stuff tied together there, but definitely check out Budget MTG decks.
Nice. With that, we're going to roll over to the one Rayman.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. As you can see, I am here at Mr. B's Game Lounge in beautiful Pennington Gap, Virginia. We have Commander going on all week. We have F&M on Friday. We'll have Commander all day on Saturday, along with our karaoke. Next week, we will have our Turtle stream. So we'll be doing a box open. We'll be doing a Commander battle with 4 different versions of the commanders that you can make from the deck. So we'll be doing a lot of Turtle content next week. So just check us out on YouTube at Mr. B's Game Lounge and Mr. B's Game Lounge here in the real world. And I guess I'm on a 23-hour break. See you guys manana.
Manana, senor.
We got Hillbilly.
Hey, everybody. Where'd it go? Anyway, on the 25th, I will be doing the early access. We'll be playing with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All the cards are coming out today. So you want to shout out during the early access, make sure to join one of my streams and join the Discord. And then you'll be able to craft a deck with some of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards. And on the 25th, I will play those decks and give you a shout out. If you run a channel, when you include that, when you craft a deck, throw your channel link into the Discord also, along with the deck. That way I can copy the channel link down and throw it out there in chat as I'm giving you the shout outs. But anybody can create a crafting deck and submit it and get a shout out. But that'll be it's next Wednesday when I'll be doing this. Now, as far as today, 2 o'clock, I will be doing another arena stream. And all I got planned for today, except for maybe tonight. Tonight, I want to play a pre-con deck. So, play Commander, you got to set up. Then your first come, first serve basis. You can holler at me or Superfast Tortoise, letting us know that you want to play. And we can play a pre-con deck. Have no upgrades in this deck, and this deck I want to play. And that's all I got planned for today. That'll be it tonight at 7 o'clock.
All right. Sounds good. Well, everybody, today's Tuesday. If we don't get a Commander game on tonight, we'll just do another chat and chill, hang out, have fun. It's been an amazing day. I want to thank everybody for being here today. Roundup Blitz, Rampa Hillbilly, Rayman, Michael's Man Saxon, Teacher Dude who had to leave to take care of it, baby. I want to thank everybody for being here today, making this conversation fun and full. I'll remind you that you're awesome. I want to thank my channel members and subscribers for building the channel the way you do, and tell you that you are loved. Someone's thinking about you, and if you can't stand to do something positive for someone else today because you might be the change you need, without that, hurry, go to Wizards of the Coast. Their stream is starting in 51 seconds, so let's get at it.
I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning.